Hello everyone, myself Kanchan Sinha from Sri Shankaracharya Mahavidyalaya. Today I am going to discuss about origin of life. Several attempts have been made from time to time to explain the origin of life on earth. As a result, there are several theories which offer their own explanation on the possible mechanism of origin of life. Following are some of them. Number 1, theory of special creation. Second, theory of spontaneous generation, theory of biogenesis, theory of biochemical evolution, theory of panspermia, and deep sea hydrothermal vent theory. Beside this, there are a lot of views also there. Theory of special creation. All the different forms of life is created by God. This is the assumptions of theory of special creation. Hindu concept is that Lord Brahma created the living world in one stroke. Christians and Islams believe that God created this universe, plants, animals and human beings in about 6 days. Three main postulates of this theory is all different kind of animals and plants were created at once. All organisms were created in the same form in which they exist today. Their bodies and organs have been designed to fully meet the needs of the environment. It has no scientific basis. Living things originated spontaneously from inanimate objects, also called as abiogenesis or biopesis. It is thought in 17th century. It is also known as spontaneous generation theory. The doctrine states that organic life could and does arise from organic matter. This was opposed by three experiments which give rise to biogenesis in 19th century. The three experiments are as Francisco Redin in 1668, Lazzaro Spallanzani in 1768, and Louis Pasteur in 1861. The supporter of this theory, spontaneous generation or abiogenesis, are Aristotle, Epicurus, and von Helmont. They believed insects arise from dew, fish and frog from mud, fly maggots from meat. The opposers of these theories are Francisco Redi, Spallanzani, and Louis Pasteur. The opposers disproved this theory. This slide shows you the experiment of the opposer of theory of biogenesis. First experiment is of Reddy's experiment in 1668, and he proved that maggots did not come from meat. Spallanzani experiment in 1768 demonstrated that microbes were present in the air and could be killed boiling. Pasteur's experiment in 1861 performed a series of experiments which demonstrate that organisms such as bacteria and fungi do not spontaneously appear in sterile, nutrient-rich media. Next theory is theory of panspermia, proposed by Richter in 1865 and supported by Arrhenius. Life had come to Earth from other planets of the universe in the form of resistant spores. This theory says that British astronomer Fred Hoyle and Chanda Wickramasinghe proposed interstellar dust and comets contain organic compounds. Comets, which are largely made of water, ice, carry bacterial life across galaxies and protect it from radiation damage along the way. The next theory, the theory of biochemical evolution, also known as materialistic theory or physico-chemical theory. It was proposed independently by Russian scientist A.I. Oparin in 1923 and an English scientist J.B.S. Haldane in 1928. According to this theory, life first arose from a collection of chemical substances by a progressive series of reactions. Early Earth's surface and atmosphere radically different from today's condition. The primitive Earth atmosphere reducing type. Solar radiation and lightning must have been the chief source of energy for these chemical reactions. The organic compound gradually accumulated in oceans and formed a hot primordial soup or hot dilute soup, also known as Darwin's warm little pond. Some other theories are theory of eternity of life. That is, life only changes its form but is never created. It has no origin and has always existed. Next, theory of catastrophism. This says modification of the theory of spatial creation. States that there have been several creations of life by God, each preceded by a catastrophe resulting from some kind of geological disturbance. Since each catastrophe completely destroyed the existing life, each new creation consisted of life form different from that of previous ones. Main supporters are French scientists Georges Cuvier and Orbigny. Vitalism, the another theory, says only living tissue, by virtue of processing some life force, can produce organic compound. Supporter of this theory, Barzellus and Bergson. The production of acetic acid from its element by the German chemist Hermann Kolbe in 1845 disproved vitalism. Miller-Urey experiment. Stimulate primitive atmosphere H2O, CS2, NH3 and H2 due to subject it to lightning. Organic molecules produced. Early atmosphere was a secondary CO2, N2, H2O and CO and H2. Drawbacks of Urey-Miller experiments. Why? By examining rocks dated to be 3.7 billion years old, geologists determined that Earth had an oxygenic atmosphere. Oxygen is an oxidizing agent and would inhibit chemical evolution. Experiment produced a mixture of right-handed and left-handed amino acids, but in nature left-handed ones predominate. Now it is thought that the atmosphere of the early Earth was not rich in methane and ammonia, essential ingredients in Miller's experiment. There is also one view, chicken and egg paradox. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Protein can't make more protein without DNA and RNA, but DNA and RNA can't be made and its information stored assessed without protein, or can it? There would be no chicken and egg paradox if the first living organism did not require protein at all. Could some people single-stranded RNA like polymer have spontaneously formed that could catalyze its own replication without the aid of proteins? Eventually, such a structure would have evolved the ability to make proteins and would greatly accelerate the replication process. Later on, DNA appeared as a more robust form of information storage thanks to its superior chemical stability. This idea is known as the RNA world hypothesis. The next theory is deep sea hydrothermal vent theory. Recently, some scientists put forth a hypothesis that life originated near a deep sea hydrothermal vent. Black Smoker hydrothermal vent First discovered vents produce extremely hot water up to 350 degrees centigrade, not conducive to microchemical evolution. Lost City hydrothermal field, alkaline vent in mid-Atlantic Ocean, discovered by Cayley and others in 2000. Much cooler temperature of water, that is 70 to 90 degrees centigrade. They are porous honeycomb with cavities. The cavities are at a scale of 1 micron, the same size as a living cell. The cavity walls are saturated with iron sulfur mineral catalyst. H2 plus CO2 reacts to form simple organic molecules CH4, formate and acetate. Serpentinization is a chemical reaction between seawater and mantle rock which contain large amount of mineral olivine MgFe silicate. H2 was reduced by Fe2, H2 and S released. All the vent ocean interfares sulfur precipitate, iron, nickel, etc. transitions metal sulfide. They catalyze H2 dependent reduction of CO2 to CO. Carbon monoxide plus hydrogen sulfide react to form methyl thioester acetic acid CH3COSCH3. They activate acetic acid derivatives, serve as starting material for subsequent exergonic synthetic steps. Vent ports concentrated large molecules like nucleotide. This formation of DNA, RNA and protein takes place. Recent developments about origin of life are: in April 2011, researchers in Italy found that if they mixed formamide, a simple chemical present in space, with material from a meteoroid and then heated the mixture, that they produce nucleic acid, that is the building block of DNA and RNA, the amino acid glycine and a precursor to sugar. In February 2010, scientists at the Scripps Research Institute in San Diego announced that they have synthesized RNA enzymes known as ribozymes that can replicate themselves without the help of any proteins or other cellular components. In May 2009, a team led by John Sutherland, a chemist at the University of Manchester in England, discovered how the basic nucleotide building block of RNA could spontaneously assemble. He formed the RNA nucleotide ribocytidine phosphate from cyanoacetylene. We can conclude that all the evidence gathered thus far has revealed a great deal about the origin of life, but there is still much to learn. Numerous scenarios have been explored for many years, but there is still a large gap between what is known and what is unknown. Because of the enormous length of time and the tremendous change that has occurred since then, much of the evidence relevant to origin has been lost and we may never know certain details. Nevertheless, many of the gaps in our knowledge, gaps that seemed unbridgeable just 20 years ago, have been filled in recent years, and continuing research and new technologies hold the promise of more insights. These are the references from which I have taken the detail I have told you earlier. Thank you very much.